welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribe-Light, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skep, Tock.
I'm Prospero.
Fat Platypus.
Chaosy.
And I'm Della Hazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions. And special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Minions of the Zoo. I'm your host, Adam of Veggie Clan the First, and joining me this evening is my good friend TerrySalt.
Hello.
And my other good friend, Hate Camel.
Good evening.
So, how are you two doing this evening? Oh, wait! Welcome to Monday Night Mayhem! So how you both doing this evening?
I'm alright.
Here we go. Yeah, I was going to say, I'll let Terry go first, because he usually keeps it pretty short and sweet.
Yeah.
I'm a little tired. Just got off work a couple hours ago, and my schedule's been a little funny this past couple weeks, so...
Like drastic changes and stuff, or?
Not necessarily drastic, but like, when I started off, there was a swing shift from noon to 8 p.m. And today and tomorrow, I'm working 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. instead.
Ooh.
So yeah, I got off work at 8 last night, hopped on the stream with Quiz and everybody, and then I just had trouble getting to sleep, man. I was just tossing and turning, and I don't think I got to sleep till like, I don't know, 3, 4 o'clock. Turned around, like got up again at like 8, and then had to get ready for work.
Can I just stop you there, because someone in chat is saying the volume is very low. So Adam, if you can take care of that so people can hear us.
Our volume is low? Okay.
Yes, he says everyone's volume is very low.
Assassin says, yeah, well, it says everyone's volume is very low. Adam's is only at about 5 out of 100. So yours is lower than everyone else's, Adam.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
We're all very quiet, apparently.
How's that?
Testing,
Let us
testing,
wait.
1, 2, 3. Testicles, 1, 2, 3.
Let us await verdict from the chat. Steve says it sounds fine. Hopefully,
Yeah, I don't know what else I can do outside of that. Let me see if I can boost it.
well, if Kev can hear us, I'm not seeing anyone else commenting on the volume. I think we're probably okay.
I mean, Assassin also had years of like shit blowing up around him, so like he might be just a tad bit hard of hearing.
But also, Kokonoe agreed with him, so
Well, I don't know what Coco's excuse is.
yeah.
Adam, talk more.
He's friends with Adam. That affects the brain, I guess.
Hey.
Yeah, there's a couple people, Mash, that are in chat that aren't mods.
Yeah, Lisa and Coco are the two that I can see just by looking at chat.
Mike R. further up in chat.
Hey, you know what? That's a good thing, and I think that's a good pivot towards some advertisement. Welcome anybody who's new. Check out our show. Check out our Discord. There's a link down below. Check out my Discord. I actually figured out how to finally post a permanent link, so you can go ahead and click that and hang out with some goofballs like Coco in my arcade. And yeah, and also, oh shit, I gotta put a link to our Rumble.
Yes.
We have a Rumble, and we're trying to get to 100, I think, to be able to stream or something like that.
We have 31 at the moment. If we get to 100, we don't have to pay to live stream on Rumble, and so Hammer has decided that until we get to 100, we should probably not stream on the Rumble side of things just yet.
Yes, subscribing to the Minions on Rumble is free, but streaming as the Minions on Rumble is like $20 a month or something. I don't know what that costs.
You said
it's about that, yeah.
To subscribe?
Yes.
Yes.
Hammer told me I had to give him $20 to subscribe.
Well,
I mean that could have been like a one-time thing, like new user fee. I mean, had you followed anybody else on Rumble before then?
Hold on, I need to question some things. No, it is free to subscribe to our Rumble. And please do.
Yeah. I think because they're a smaller operation, they can't quite afford everyone to just stream whatever they want. If you're a smaller channel,
I imagine that would take up a lot of bandwidth to just let people stream willy-nilly. Because I mean, look at me. I stream sporadically, but when I do, it's like 4 hours plus at a time. When I do stream, StreamYard sends me those emails like, "Hey, guess what? You're almost at your limit for free streaming." So either give us some money. Well, if you're on the free StreamYards, it's like 20 hours a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's like 3.5 streams for me.
Is that if you're hosting, or just on? Okay,
if you're hosting streams.
Because I've never run into that, but I don't host the streams. So I was thinking it didn't really make sense because I clearly do more than 20 hours a month or whatever it is.
Yeah, you got to be the one hosting the stream for that to count against you.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, like when we were doing those book streams, that was, I think the shortest one was 3 hours and change.
Did you say book streams?
Yes, we read awful urban fiction for my channel. There's a book called "That Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib."
Ooh.
Yeah, it's based in Chicago too.
Oh wow, I wouldn't doubt it.
The main character grew up in Cabrini Green.
Oh, back when it existed.
Back in the day, yeah. So she was used to roaches in her crib. She grew up, she grew up around them. She was molded by them.
I got as far as you reading the name in the synopsis. I'm not gonna listen to that.
Yeah, like Terry tapped out her like 3 paragraphs. He's like, nope, I don't need to hear this shit. And he made the right decision because it was bad.
I'm sure it was.
I mean, it was awful. But I find stuff like that hilarious. So what got me was the horribly photoshopped book covers, and that's why I call them judging a book by its cover, because that's the only thing that led me to like, yep, I want to read this.
For me, so bad it's good is a very, very fine line. It's very easy to just be bad.
Well, if I had just been reading this by myself, yeah, I probably would have tapped out maybe a chapter or 2 tops.
Yeah. All right.
But I had hostages. So that's what made it fun for me. Specifically, like Dax's reactions, because he was not a fan.
Have you reached out to Quan Mills and tried to get him as a guest on one of your streams?
I have not, although Quan Mills is fairly active on Twitter, and anytime Dax or I brought up his books, he did like those tweets. So
there you go.
I imagine I probably could see like, hey man, you want to do a live stream? There may be a chance that he'd say yes. Who knows?
I think he'd be quite happy for the publicity, to be honest.
I think I want to get through more of the books before I reach out, though.
Makes sense.
Because I mean, we are in the first quarter of fiscal year 2023 now, and I need to get in touch with Dax about when he has time for us to read the next installment called Tax Season Thoughts. And hopefully we'll be doing that over on his channel. Because he doesn't stream enough.
The best thing about that guy's books are the titles. I don't care about anything in them, but that Ho Got Roaches in Her Crib is just an awesome title.
It is, right? Like the title and the cover. That's what got me. It's like, I'm gonna read this. I knew going in it was gonna be god awful, but I'm gonna read this. Cool. So, but yeah, like had work today, had to get up early, didn't get much sleep, so yeah, I'm a little. It's like I'm finding it like that commitment to going to the gym. It's like I already shelled the money, so I got to make use of it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I got to come home. I got to check on the pupper, and then like I find myself just kind of drawn to the computer. I sit down. It feels nice to sit down after a long day of standing and walking and whatnot.
Of course.
And it's like, do I really want to slap on some gym shorts and go lift heavy things and run in place, or do I just want to sit here? So,
I know what I would choose, but I didn't pay for a gym membership, so
yeah. I just want to, I'm not trying to get like, super jacked, anything like that. I'm not trying to get like on a cover of like, like a muscle magazine, nothing like that, right? I just want to keep myself looking good naked. That's the goal. It's very achievable too.
I haven't been working out, but I have been trying to lose weight. So I mean, not quite the same motive. I just want my belly to stop sticking out.
Right.
For your health either way, right?
Well, like I mean, for me,
was that too quiet? It's good for your health either way.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Audiophobes.
For me, the motivation is I don't want to eat less, so I have to move more.
That's true.
That's just simple math.
My big change was not so much how much I was eating, though I did start eating less. It's what I was eating. So instead of having takeaway for every single meal, which I'm told not that healthy, I signed up for a food delivery service, and I get like a week's worth of microwave meals, and those are like, it's probably not like the healthiest thing in the world, but compared to what I was eating, they're like night and day. So I've already lost like 15 pounds.
Yes.
Nice.
Just by switching over.
It's one of those things where it's not just so much just hitting the gym and doing all that. It's also the nutritional part.
I'm trying to cook more. I'm trying to cook more for myself instead of because after my grandmother passed away, there was a couple weeks there was like every night was just takeout, and it's like there are only so many takeout joints in my town, and I think I hit just about all of them a couple times, and it's like, all right, I'm getting kind of tired of this. I need to do something else. And then I
So-
landed this job, and now I've got like fried food sitting in front of me all day, every day. It's like, oh man, I need to do something else.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, you'll stick with it and you start looking and feeling better once the
Even with I did that first workout on Friday, and even with that being a fairly light workout, it's like I'm still a little bit sore. So like once I got home last night, I was like, I need to go to the gym, but I really don't want to. And now it's like, all right, I'm definitely going tomorrow. Because I feel good enough. Like, all right, back at it. So I'm gonna try and do it. At least twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, depending.
Cool. My exercise is walking up to the supermarket, and it's only like a 15-minute walk each way, but compared to how much exercise I was doing, which was 0,
yeah,
dude.
it's quite an improvement.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm just trying to do baby steps right now because I don't want to overdo.
Yeah.
I don't want to overdo it and make it where because my boss at work, they love me. They think I'm great. Good worker. Make sure I get all my stuff done, and I don't want to jeopardize that.
Of course.
Just because of a bit of vanity.
Yeah. If you overdo it, you also run the risk of burning out. Like if you get it too hard too fast, you'll think, oh, fuck, this is too hard, and quit. Whereas if you keep it at a pace that you can handle, then you're more likely to stick with it.
Well, right now it's just easing back into it, getting into the rhythm, and not trying to overdo it because I've still got a bunch of stuff I got to do at work. I've got a bunch of stuff I got to do around the house. Holy shit! Did Mike Leach die?
Who?
Who's Mike Leach?
He's a football coach.
Oh.
That
would explain why I don't know him.
Yeah. He's still alive as of right now. What happened? What happened to this dude? You guys should check him out because he's got some. He's hilarious, right? He's one of those dudes like they'll ask him questions about stuff other than football, and he'll just fire from the hip. I think one reporter was asking about getting married. He's like, "Don't do it."
I mean, he's not wrong.
But yeah, he's the head coach for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And before that, he was the head coach at Texas Tech. He was an offensive coordinator at the University of Oklahoma back in the day. So I want to know why they're saying he died or he's not dead. What's going on? Apparently he's in the hospital. Something happened.
Well, hopefully he'll be alright.
Yeah, I hope so. He's getting up there in years.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty crazy with everyone dying and getting sick and
yeah, a lot of people getting bumped off in 2022.
Bumped off? What do you mean bumped off? Like murdered?
Dying.
Yeah.
Shuffling off of this mortal coil, Adam.
I mean mortal slinky.
On to join the choir invisible.
But yeah, was it the latest ones were Kirstie Alley and Clarence Gilliard Jr.? That's
there seems to be a lot of them happening recently.
Decent chunk of my childhood this year is passed on. It's I'm getting old.
Yeah, and I'm even older than you.
Yep.
And, I'm looking for clouds to shout at this point.
Oh, I've been doing that for years, man.
You're You're looking for the what?
Clouds to shout out.
Oh.
Haven't you
like
seen
the
the Grandpa
Simpsons.
Simpson meme?
Old man shouts at clouds.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It was on the cover of the newspaper. Front page, above the fold.
Well, did you ever use bumblebees for nickels?
Not quite
No.
that old.
Oh.
It's
I
do believe that
I never wore an
Kaiser
onion on my
stole the
belt
20.
either.
But I do believe the Kaiser stole the word 20. And
He
so I
did.
think we need to start saying dickety again.
We need to. We forgot that we're supposed to be using diggity.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The Simpsons used to be so good.
They used to be.
Yeah. Like, did they drop off before or after the movie?
I think the
Before.
movie was the nail in the coffin.
I think it was around the time of Phil Hartman's death that they started dropping off.
Yeah.
And I'm even
Okay.
going to say, I don't think the two are related. I don't think they dropped off because Phil Hartman died.
Well,
I think
no,
it was just
it was-
similar timing.
It was around that time too. I think there was a couple of writers that left it as well. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it wasn't because Phil Hartman died. It's just at the same time as he died, The Simpsons also started going downhill. It was a coincidence. It wasn't causal.
Yes. Yes. I'd agree.
Oh, okay. So Mike Leach had a heart attack last night,
Ooh,
and he's in critical condition.
this is not a good condition to be in.
No.
It's,
And the reason why I ripped Mike Leach's training is because some jackass tweeted it out, and then
Ah.
retracted it, but they didn't delete the original tweet.
right.
So it just kept spreading. I was hoping it was like that, like the celebrity hoax, announcements.
Yeah.
Like how many times have we seen like Jeff Goldblum died, like cliff diving and some,
Well, there was one that was like really popular, which was Betty White dies, but it was like DYES, and like they were talking about her dyeing her hair, but like they deliberately phrased it so you'd think that she died.
Why would they do that? I mean, I know why they do that. So fucking disgusting. Hey, actually, that brings me on to this. Hold on, I gotta pause this. I actually wrote this down. And we can go into what I had planned, but here's a little side bit. Before I left work, I noticed on a news article when I was checking my computer, as you do, from some publication called Looper. It goes, actors who ended their career with really bad movies.
Sean Connery.
Well, no, and it had a picture of Raul Julia as Major Bison in Street Fighter. And I am
I thought you said bad movies.
Yes, I know. That's what I am saying. They said bad movies, but obviously they were mistaken. Street
Right.
Fighter with M. Bison as Raul Julia. It was the perfect movie of the time.
It wasn't the perfect movie, but he was the perfect Bison.
He was the perfect.
I will grant you that much. Yes, he was perfect for that role. Everyone else, not so much.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's a lot of poor
you
choices.
didn't like Kylie Minogue as Cammy?
Hey, okay, well, okay, we like some of the choices.
Honestly, I didn't even remember her being in that movie.
Yeah, I
I
know
was
exactly.
I was thinking more along the lines of like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh no, he was the best.
No.
Let me tell you something. I will tell that son of a bitch Bison.
First of all, Guile is American, not Belgian.
Yes,
Hey,
that is
man,
true.
But we couldn't find an American who could do the flash kick, so.
I mean, there's this thing called practical effects.
Hold on.
Adam.
Couldn't Chuck Norris done it? How in the hell did we not get Chuck Norris to be Guile in Street Fighter?
Because I mean, like, wasn't he already like in his 50s by then?
He's still fucking doing this shit, dude. Get out of here.
No, the best Street Fighter movie I've ever seen is, I think it was from Hong Kong, but it was
The animated one.
Chun-Li.
No, it was called
Jackie Chan.
It's called Future Cops, and it was about Ryu, Vega, and Dalsim going back in time to make sure this one kid becomes a judge, so that in the future he will prosecute Bison for his crimes.
Oh.
Well, that's not how judges work, though.
Yeah,
that's kind of a flaw in the movie.
Well, I don't know how the Cantonese crime system works. Maybe it makes sense in Hong Kong.
Okay.
No, the whole thing is totally ridiculous. And then, as if that wasn't weird enough, the whole first 45 minutes of the movie is kind of this loser kid who ends up being the judge, to no one's surprise. But it's just him getting bullied at school and, like, people laughing at what a loser he is. So it's like, there's not even any, like, fighting in the movie until the second half.
You know, I remember watching.
Weird.
I remember watching a Street Fighter movie on VHS back in the day, and I don't remember like who put it out, but it had like Alice in Chains on the soundtrack.
Oh, nice.
The anime.
Yeah. That was a damn good movie.
It was.
And that scene with Chun-Li and Vega, like I was like, as a kid, I was like, dude, this is cartoons. Okay, I like this.
It's my favorite part about the Future Cops movie is because it was made in the 90s, like the early 90s. The plot is that in the future, no one is allowed to have sex because they're waiting for everyone who has AIDS to die.
I mean, it shouldn't have taken that long.
This is their plan to like solve the AIDS crisis. Is no one can have sex until every single person with AIDS dies, and then they can start again.
Oh my goodness!
It is such an insane movie, and it's just hilarious.
You know, the biggest thing I remember from the AIDS thing in the 90s as a kid was like third, fourth grade, something like that. We had to read about Ryan White. Do you remember that story, Adam?
No.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't expect you to know about it, being Australian. I don't know if it had ever. I think they wrote a book about him, but I wouldn't expect it to have reached Australia. Ryan White was he was a young boy who ended up having a blood transfusion. That's how he got the high five. And so he started. That was before they knew that it was, passed, I guess, through, blood transfusions. And obviously that kid wasn't having gay sex, so they're like, hey, like maybe there's something here. But he became like an activist before he, finally died. And we had to read about him. And
what you're saying is one less activist in the world. That
yes,
sounds like a happy ending.
One less child activist.
Oh, even better.
But the only thing I really remember about reading about his story, because again, this is grade school stuff that we were reading about him in. He was like 13 or whatever. He got to meet like Michael Jackson, a whole bunch of celebrities. If
he got to meet Michael Jackson, I'd be sure that's not how he got the AIDS.
He got to meet Michael Jackson because he had the AIDS, so we know he was safe.
I remember that.
But no, he had like a big crush on Vanna White, and
okay.
because he was like
didn't at the time.
Because he was dead kid walking, like his mom let him have like the Vanna White Playboy issue.
Fair enough. Least you can do, really.
Wait.
Yeah.
She did a Playboy issue.
Vanna White did Playboy, yes.
Oh wow. We are in
I think because we had different people doing our Wheel of Fortune, I never really
Wait,
paid
hold
much attention
on.
to Vanna White.
Hold on. They didn't just stream the American Jeopardy. They gave.
No. We had our own people. We had Australians doing it.
Wow.
I forget the name of the woman who was the equivalent of Vanna White in our version, but yeah, Adriana Zenides. That's right.
That's fucking awesome. Holy shit.
And yeah, no, it was.
I need to find some videos of this. This is awesome.
Yeah, it was the exact same show. It's just that they had Australian presenters do the presenting,
which makes sense.
Yeah, it
but
makes
I mean, like,
sense, yeah.
I'm like, how many different shows and stuff did we bring, over from like from Great Britain?
Yeah.
And like I remember the Weak Link, they brought over that British lady. It's like, okay, this works because stuffy old British broad is looking down her glasses at these dumb Americans. Okay, that's funny. I don't think it would have played as well if you'd had an American presenter doing it.
No, and we found that out in Australia because we had our own Australian version of The Weakest Link, and it was not nearly as good as when it was a pompous British bitch.
Right?
Like the Australian one was still trying to be pompous and bitchy. It just didn't play nearly as well without the accent.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Wasn't there a game show that had a British, like, lady talking to people?
Probably The Weakest Link.
Was it?
But Anne Robinson's British, and she was the host of The Weakest Link.
You are the weakest link.
Goodbye.
Was it? Was that it? No, that's a
I don't know which one you're thinking of.
That's the only one that I can think of in the past 30 years, Adam.
Oh wow. I don't know, man.
But I mean, it's like when they try to do Who Wants to Be a Millionaire after Regis left.
Mm-hmm.
I think they still try and do it, but I mean, it just dropped off like network television. I think it went to like the Game Show Network, where game shows go to die.
Where they go to die.
I think certain shows, if they've had the same host for long enough, they become irreplaceable. It's like Jeopardy without Alex Trebek.
Right?
There is no one that they can get who can replace Alec because he is Jeopardy. It's too connected in people's
Even
minds.
though he was a replacement host.
Yeah, but he became the face of the show.
Yeah,
he was that good at it and successful and long running.
And then like I trying to remember, like, did I maybe saw like an episode or two, like when Nana Cam was in the hospital. They had Blossom hosting. It's like, yeah, this isn't nearly as good.
Blossom.
No.
Holy shit.
It's funny that everyone's.
Well, I mean, I could refer to her as Amy Farrah Fowler if that's more your
Please
speed,
don't.
Adam.
Wait, who?
No, but it's funny that I think of her as Blossom too.
Yeah.
Like,
she had that goofy hat. She did that weirdo dance.
Yeah.
See, I never watched Blossom, but still refer to her as that because the only other thing I know of her being in is Big Bang Theory.
Come on, Michael Jaleel White. If it's not Sonic, it's fucking Urkel. You alright?
Jaleel White was Urkel.
Yeah.
He was both.
I was a huge Family Matters fan because of Steve Urkel when I was a kid. I must admit that.
I was there for Carl, and Carl Winslow was...
Dude, after what he had to endure at Nakatomi Plaza...
Right?
I mean...
I think if I watched it as an adult, I'd find Urkel to be insufferable, but as a kid, I thought he was hilarious.
Dude, I just wish they pushed the, why does he ask for cheese type of thing, Got some cheese?
Oh, Costin asks, have you seen Drew Carey host The Price is Right?
Drew Carey! Holy shit, Drew Carey show was pretty good, too.
Well,
the Drew Carey show was good.
I was joking with one of my coworkers today because we have a bunch of different flat screens around the truck stop, playing different channels, and one of them has Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal or whatever it's called with Wayne Brady. It's not Let's Make a Deal. That was Howie Mandel. That's Deal or No Deal.
Is that the one with the briefcases?
Deal or No Deal. Yeah, that was the one with Howie Mandel. Bob Barker's 99. Did you guys know that?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the English version of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Since Drew Carey got brought up.
I catch clips of it. I liked it all right.
I liked Clive Anderson a lot more than I liked Drew Carey as host.
I never really watched. I never really paid attention to Drew as the host. It was always Ryan and Colin for me. Those are the ones.
That's actually my issue. Was Drew tried to interject himself into the games too much? He should have just been a host. Like Clive Anderson didn't play the games. He didn't do anything other than he's sort of a smarmy British game show host.
Isn't that because he was friends with Ryan and everything? Like, wasn't Ryan on the Drew Carey
Yes, he was. Ryan Stiles was on the Drew Carey show.
Yeah, him and Dietrich Bader.
Yes.
So I mean, I guess I just kind of tuned that part out because I knew they were friends.
Yeah, no, I understand why, and that's also Ryan and Colin were on every episode, and I think Wayne Brady was on every episode too.
Not every episode. He came in later.
No, but once he joined, he was.
Yeah.
Regular.
Once he joined, he was a regular.
But with the British one, there were no constants. Like it was a different lineup each time. So some were more popular than others. Like you'd often see Josie Lawrence. She wasn't every single episode, so you got a much broader variety of performers than just Ryan, Colin, Wayne, and whoever happens to be the fourth.
Yeah, but I did appreciate them having them being as constants because it made me appreciate improv more growing up. To see those guys day in and day out just making shit up on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me, Ryan, Colin, and Wayne are fantastic. They're excellent at what they do. I'm just saying you got to see more people in the English one.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I never watched much of the Drew Carey Price is Right because I spent so many years being lied to him or him being lying to me about how Cleveland rocked. It's like I don't trust you, sir. How do I know you're not lying about the price being right?
Whose Line Is It Anyways and Tough Crowd were the two.
Oh, Tough Crowd was awesome.
Top
The only thing I remember from Tough Crowd is the Geraldo takedown of Dennis Leary.
That alone.
That alone is worth it.
Okay.
Greg Giraldo.
I've usually just looked at because I love Patrice O'Neal and Jim Norton. So I watch those.
No, I used to watch Tough Crowd every week. The Greg Giraldo Dennis Leary thing is the only thing that I remember vividly.
Yeah.
But it was a solid show. It was very, very good on a regular basis. That was the clear highlight of the entire show.
Yeah.
Well, I like Dennis Leary in Demolition Man. I liked him in The Ref.
With the rat
Operation Dumbo Drop. How could you forget that?
Hold on. Did you see the?
Well, I didn't think about him. I didn't think about him
being cooked in New York.
Rats being cooked in New York?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
There's a video of some lady just roasting some rats, or they're saying it's gerbils, but they look a little too big to be gerbils. I don't even know if they could be rats either, but they're fucking giant.
But to answer Terry's, when I think of Operation Dumbo Drop, I don't think of Dennis Leary. I think of Ray Liotta and Danny Glover.
Oh yeah.
Right. I'm just saying Dennis Leary was in that movie.
He was in that movie.
Hey, Dennis Leary was in The Sandlot, so.
Oh well, yeah, but he was what, 2 scenes?
Yeah,
he was 2 scenes.
Yeah.
The stepdad, yeah. So and he didn't do his shtick. He was. decent performance, you know.
No, to a degree, he was doing his shtick. He was, yeah.
I have to go
yeah.
back and watch it, I guess, because
I'll
I
teach you
don't
later.
remember it.
Yeah, you know, I'll teach you how to throw a ball tomorrow. Yeah.
But yeah, like you know, I was a Bill Hicks fan growing up, so getting to see Geraldo take down Leary like that, like it warmed my tiny black heart.
Oh yeah,
If
that
you
was
have the
a
link,
masterstroke.
post it in Discord. And
Yeah, I'll find the link for you and I'll put it in Discord after the stream.
And hey, yeah, once again, check
No,
out
that
the
was a
links in
thing
the,
of beauty.
description. So, baba da baba. Check out mypillow.com and Cherry's Berries.
Yeah, if you get a chance to watch old episodes of Tock Crowd, besides the one highlight, it's still a very, very good show. I definitely recommend it if you can find it on YouTube or something.
Okay. Yeah, I've been kind of just haven't really been watching any new TV in years, but I have found myself going back and watching like old shows that I know I like. You know, there's plenty of syndication channels where they're playing reruns and stuff like that. So maybe go back and I'll watch some Tough Crowd, and just to remember it. Also, like I kind of want to go back and watch. Either of you guys remember the show Remote Control on MTV?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. It was a game show on MTV, and you know it was kind of like Jeopardy sometimes. Like there was a game they had called a Dead, Alive, or Canadian. You know, so they'd list off these people, and you had to guess, like, are they dead, are they alive, or are they just Canadian?
Well, I sure am glad that there's no Canadians on the stream.
Columbo, yeah, that's a good one.
That was a good show
Peter
too.
Falk, you know, yeah.
I actually think of him as Columbo. Like, I have to stop and think what his real name is. Like, when we're talking about, say, The Princess Bride, I would say, and Columbo
he's the grandfather, yeah.
Columbo plays the grandfather. I'd have to stop and think his name's Peter Falk.
Or you know, Columbo plays the mob boss father of Chris Kattan and Corky Romano.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
You don't watch it; it's horrible. It's really sad. It's a Chris Kattan movie, so like it's not very good. But they've got a great like supporting cast in that movie. Like Peter Falk plays his dad. Peter Berg plays his brother who can't read. Chris Penn plays his like closeted gay brother.
Most Saturday Night Live movies, like movies based on Saturday Night Live sketches, they run out of it. Like, there's a reason that they only do like a sketch of that idea and not a full movie. Because when they try and do a full movie, it falls apart. Very
few of the sketch movies have actually been good.
I think Wayne's World is the only one that was even memorable for me.
I would give 3. I would give you 3. Blues Brothers, Wayne's World, and Coneheads.
I didn't like Coneheads, but I'll admit I did forget about the Blues Brothers, so I'll agree to those two.
Wait, those Dan Aykroyd movies, or?
Mm-hmm. Coneheads and Blues Brothers, Dan Aykroyd, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't even include Ghostbusters 1?
No,
that was an SNL skit.
Oh, well, right. That is true.
Yeah, we're talking SNL sketches that turned into full movies, and I will admit I did forget about Blues Brothers, so I can think of 2.
I mean, I can't even name that many that have, you know, they're so forgettable. Like, there was the Ladies Man. You remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
There was the girl who sniffs her under pits.
Oh yes, Superstar.
Yeah.
Molly Shannon.
Night at the Roxbury's, wasn't that based on?
Okay. I liked Night at the Roxbury's, but that was one of those like it's a bad movie that is kind of good. You know, it's like a guilty pleasure movie.
Right.
Just especially since like Frog Leap Studios did the metal cover of What Is Love.
Yeah, Frog Leap is awesome.
I found myself doing the head bob while I was listening to that.
Everything Leo touches is gold almost.
Yeah,
he's fantastic.
And the chick that he had singing with him in that one, Priscilla Serrano, that girl can scream. Like, wow.
He does find very good talent to
whether it's just like guitarists or singers. He finds some really great talent on and a lot of them are all on YouTube as well. So
I think the first one I ever saw of his was Africa, and the chick that sang with him in that was pretty good too.
Yeah. I can't remember her name without looking up right now.
I might be thinking of a different.
Mary Spender is the one that he did Sultans of Swing with.
That's
Sultans of Swing. Oh shit! You know what? I'm gonna have to fucking pop that on. Yeah, dude.
Hi, Sora. Good. It's not just me you do that kind of crap with. All right.
I can't hear her.
Well, she's not in the chat. She's in the chat. She's not in the Discord.
Oh.
I just didn't feel like typing.
Canadians for a while then.
Yep. We can't.
Well, you know.
But
I think Coco wants to play against you, Adam, in something.
Oh well, he's gonna have to wait.
He's been frequently bringing it up in chat, so I just thought I'd let you know in case you hadn't seen it.
Oh.
What is this racism that I'm seeing on screen right here, sir?
Whoa. He was a
Mexican. That is T-Hawk.
Yeah, you've never seen T-Hawk?
I have to admit, I have not played any of the Street Fighter games since Nintendo Street Fighter 2.
Right.
For me, that was the perfect game. I was like, I don't need to.
No, but that guy T-Hawk was in Super Street Fighter, which was actually on the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And a Canadian has entered the chat.
Yes. Hi, Camel.
Hi, Sora. How's it going?
Good.
Hi, Sora.
Did you ever see remote control on MTV back in the day?
I wasn't allowed to watch MTV.
Oh. Well,
so no.
That's fair. Okay. Tulsa was actually one of the test markets for MTV before it actually launched to see how it would play in the Midwest and the South, I guess. You can never I can never really figure out where Oklahoma's supposed to be, like in the pantheon of American regions.
Main thing
are we in the South? MTV. Are we because Midwest you always think like Ohio, Michigan, Indiana.
I think where the fuck's the Midwest, but I mean I'm Australian, so
that's fair.
I always think the Midwest is a lot more south and east than it actually is, despite the fact that the definition is in its name,
Yeah.
It just feels like it's this mythical place that's nowhere near me. It's literally like slightly to the south and to the left,
I feel like it should be I feel like, when they say like Midwest and they're talking like Indiana or Michigan or what have you, it's like that's still pretty far north, guys. Like not even like you're still in the Eastern time zone. How is that west? How is that mid? Like literally Oklahoma, pretty much in the middle of the country.
Yeah. It's the main thing I remember from MTV would be Daria and like Beavis and Butthead.
Eon Flux. Yeah.
Ooh, I liked Eon Flux. I saw that later. That was fun.
I think the Max was on MTV as well.
Yep.
Well, no, Sora, the reason I asked was because there used to be a game show on MTV in like the late 80s, early 90s called Remote Control. and they had a game called Dead, Alive, or Canadian.
Okay.
And we were talking about going back and watching like old TV and stuff. And I was like, I vaguely remember watching Remote Control as a kid. It's like, maybe I should go back and check it out as an adult and see like if it holds up. Because for the life of me, like every time I would think of Remote Control, I would think of Dead, Alive, or Canadian, and it would make me giggle.
It's like Fuck, Marry, Kill, but a lot more fun.
Yeah, it's like, are these people? They just rattle off a list of names. It's like you had to decide: are they dead, alive, or just Canadian? So, but yeah,
if they were Canadian, did you have to also know whether they were alive or dead, or was it just enough to say, nope, that's a Canadian?
yeah, they're Canadian. Dead or alive, that's irrelevant.
Okay.
I'll have to. That just sounds like fun.
So,
It's like our version-ish. Not really. It's Talking to Americans.
oh yeah,
Have you ever seen that? It's Rick Mercer. He's like a commentator here. He had a segment on. I think it's on This Hour Has 22 Minutes. Just he goes to the States and asks questions to Americans and
like
they
about
Canada,
Okay.
about the world sometimes, usually geography stuff, but mostly about Canadian stuff. And of course, it's and he's so nice about it. He's like, "Oh, do you know like he'll ask questions like something like, Canada wants to make such and such thing the national drink or whatever, and would you support that?" And of course the Americans you talk to are so like, yeah, I support your right to do whatever. It's always very genuine and exciting, and they say stupid things, and it's kind of like Canada laughing at the whole country of the United States. It's done in good fun, but it's nothing really mean. But
we spent like a quarter of a century laughing at you guys every Wednesday when a new South Park would come on. So I think we're square.
When I think Rick Mercer, I think of this show he was in. Down here it was called The Industry, but I think for you guys it was called Made in Canada. And it was basically him running a TV network, but he was like this slimy behind the scenes guy. He was like the like intelligence behind the operation, manipulating everybody. It was actually a really good show.
Hold on.
I'm looking at
Australians have a goof on Canadians?
No. It was a Canadian show.
Oh,
Canadian show, but they changed the name and they brought it down to foreign markets for whatever reason.
I think they did that with an American show that aired.
Yes.
It's called or maybe it was a Canadian show that they changed the name for. We had a show called The Newsroom with Jeff Daniels on HBO, and I think they had to change that. It was either for the Canadian or the Australian market because you guys already had a show called The Newsroom. I can't remember which one it was, Canada or Australia.
I don't know. I didn't hear about The Newsroom with Jeff Daniels, but
it only ran like 3 seasons, and it had some really good actors in it. But it was Aaron Sorkin, the guy that made like
yeah. I think I've seen clips of it online because this guy is saying America's not the best country.
Exactly. That's like the first episode. So like he just kind of snaps at all the dumb questions these college kids are asking.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I've seen that clip.
Can you say in 3 words or less why America's the greatest country in the world? And he just loses his shit and just goes off on a rant. And what the part that I really liked about it was like at the end he's still hopeful. Like he's going down this laundry list of like all the things where like America's not the greatest. We're not number one. It's like but we used to be. We used to have hope and this and that and. We used to want it to be better.
Yeah.
But no, speaking of Canadians, since there's one on stream with us, do you guys know you have imposters?
Imposters?
Yeah, there are imposter Canadians roaming about. I ran into one today.
Wait.
Oh, do you mean like American tourists who pretend they're Canadians when they travel internationally because we get
No,
treated better than you guys?
No, not that. We're all aware of that, and it's like, I mean, I think those people are pussies. First of all,
Yeah,
you know?
like fuck off! Don't bring our name to your poorly behaved tourist self. Like, come on.
I agree with both of you, but at the same time, if you know that you can get better service just by lying about where you're from, I can't really blame you for taking advantage of it.
I can see where you're coming from there. Yeah, it's just a point of pride, as an American. It's like, no, I'll tell you, I'm an American. If I go overseas, which I never intend to do, but on the off chance that I find myself in foreign lands, I will announce myself as an American. And I will freely admit, it's like, I don't know shit. I'm not trying to offend anybody. What's going on here? When in Rome, all that jazz. I will acquit myself well as an American instead of being, just the dumb American stereotype.
Yeah, I think as long as you make some sort of token effort, they're generally okay. Because when I went to Paris, and like everyone is saying, oh, people in Paris are so rude to tourists. They weren't to me.
No, I've never experienced that. I'm with you. Never had problems.
But I made a token effort to speak French. Like I made it clear that I couldn't speak French, but
I'll speak the language poorly, but
Yeah, but I would ask in French, "Do you speak English?" And then they'd say yes, and then we could talk in English. And I think they just appreciated that I tried. Like I didn't just assume, oh, I'll speak English and everyone will just do what I say.
Or like doing like the dumb gringo thing of like just speaking loudly and putting an O on everything, and that's how you think Spanish sounds. But I mean, I've had to deal with it. I've had to deal with it a lot. I've had to deal with it a lot, with Spanish speakers. They come through, these different places I've worked, and they don't even bother trying to speak English. And so we're just sitting there fucking pantomiming because my Spanish isn't that great.
No.
And their face lights up if I give them like a uno momento. And like, oh, he speaks it. No, I don't.
Nope. Don't even give
it. So like, I had a guy yesterday. He came in, didn't speak a word of English, but you know what he did have? A
Hungarian
cell phone.
phrase book?
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. Like, where are you going, buddy? No, he had a cell phone, and he, typed in, to a translator, it's like, hey, I'm having problems with this. Can you help me? He made an effort to be understood without just, like miming, and I appreciated that. But no, getting back to the imposter Canadian.
Yes.
Had a guy come in today, like he's wearing flannel. He walks up and he asked me a question. And I didn't want to get that close. I work at a truck stop, dude. Like I'm not trying to get close enough to smell you. But
that's probably good.
So he's got the flannel on. He's got like the funny cap with the ear flaps.
Like the hunting hat?
Yes. It's the funny hat with the ear flaps to me, though.
Okay.
And then he ends his. He asked me a question, and he ends it with "a." I was like, oh, I'm prepared for this. I know where you're from, buddy. They're like, you're Canadian, right? He's like, no, I'm from Wisconsin. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
I think they do that shit.
I think it's yeah. I think it's kind of their.
But yeah, I was like,
they cut that border, right? And they left some Canadians in the States.
And I say that only because I don't like cheeseheads and Minnesotans. Fuck your Vikings.
but no, like I was polite about it. I was like, are you Canadian? He's like, no, I'm from Wisconsin. I was like, oh, take off, you hoser.
Yeah, no, that's what? Hoser's from Indiana, I think. Right?
Sora, would you like to explain that one to him?
No, I think that's a little bit too redneck Canadian for me. You need Della for that. I don't know.
That's some old SCTV. I got that from Rick Moranis.
Hold on. You got Hoser. There's a whole.
That's
a
what's
Hoser in
the.
Canada?
Yeah.
It's the QT guys, like on air. I don't know. That's very 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kyvie. Wisconsin's awesome.
A good friend of mine from high school is from Wisconsin.
I have no problem with Wisconsin. It's like, you're wearing the Canadian uniform, sir. What are you doing?
We'll call them honorary. I'd be happy to make them honorary Canadians, because get and Minnesota can join too.
But I know it reminds me of an old, what was that? It was like a Visa MasterCard commercial. There's a Don Nelson was the coach of the Dallas Mavericks basketball team in the 90s and 2000s. And they had a commercial with him and Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash, two of the players for the Dallas Mavericks at the time. And Dirk is a German, big, tall German guy. And this whole commercial, you've got Don Nelson, the coach. He is learning German, and he's trying to talk to Dirk in German, to coach him up, right? And at the end of the commercial, you got Steve Nash, a Canadian. He walks up, and Don just looks at him and goes, "Hoser," and he walks off.
Damn, he just drops it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so usually we run the show on Monday for about an hour. But since we have Sora,
since I came 40 minutes late.
Well, no, I don't mind running a little later. So if the rest of you are cool,
it's fine. It doesn't bother him at all.
Okay. Well,
this is it's a great excuse for me to not go to the gym just yet. So I'm cool.
Well, no! Don't stop that. Get down.
Oh no!
40 push-ups now. Come on. Burpees.
Dude,
we'll count them for you.
She even clapped.
I'm not doing burpees. Nah.
I'll do 50 with you right now.
Which one's the Romanian deadlift or something like that? It's one of the bad ones.
No, I'm still sore from the upper body workout I did Friday, so I'm not doing any push-ups right now. Actually, today's leg day for me.
Oh, leg day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very important.
Honestly, it is, and I think I need to do some more squats because I'm sick of my pants falling down.
Yeah.
Frost staying up past 10, rebels.
I need a shelf back there, so I need to do something.
What is the whole meme about leg day? Because I don't understand, but everyone's like, "Oh, make sure you don't skip leg day." Like, why? Is that
a lot of it comes from. You ever see those pictures of dudes that like they've got like the giant like bodybuilder upper torso, and they've got like the toothpick legs
and nothing underneath?
Not really, but I mean, I imagine that could happen.
That's where that comes from. It's like that's why you don't skip leg day. Like these guys have been so focused on building up their arms and their chest and their back and shoulders, and they don't do anything for the lower body whatsoever. So they're very like top heavy, and it just you've got chicken legs.
And hey,
so that's where that meme came from.
And just like we were talking about earlier, it's also equal parts workout plus nutrition. So make sure you're eating and getting plenty of water. And yeah, dude, anybody can do it. You can all do it. I got faith in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stop listening to us. Get out of your house and go to the gym
right now. Wait, no.
Again,
after the show because we want.
It's not so much. It's not so much about trying to change up my diet. It's just I'm trying to move more. I like my food, so I gotta find some way to burn it off without
that's my problem.
I'm sure I would like Camel's food too, so just send some down to Sydney and
a lot of pizza and fried chicken. So I mean, I'm sure you'd love it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I already like the sound of where this is going.
See, which is why it's wild when I see like Sanguine and his prepared food that he makes, and it's holy shit, it looks so rich.
See, I'm just trying to balance out the universe. Sanguine's getting like these really like fancy, gourmet style meals he's making. It's like, nah, man, I'm just gonna order pizza.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know, a couple tacos is all right.
I have not tried keto.
What is it?
Again,
Keto?
I'm not trying to get like into.
Hold on.
I don't want to
Isn't
count
that the sword fighting. Aikido.
No, that's Aikido.
I think it's that guy in Texas, O'Rourke.
Oh.
No, that's Beto.
Oh, Beto.
O'Rourke. That's what I
He
said.
skateboards. I know that guy.
And he's a furry. Yeah.
He hangs out with Temple. I mean, I can't justify it. Please, Susan, don't. We're not saying that Beto O'Rourke and Tim Pool skateboard together.
We need Elon to buy YouTube.
No, I'm not looking into any diets whatsoever. It's just I'm gonna try and drink more water, eat a bit less,
Hold
not
on.
drastic or anything.
I will say what's funny is talking about the keto. I've tried it, and it is pretty good. It's a nice little supplement type of thing. But what I find funny is I was seeing these ads in my quote unquote tinfoil hat news, right? You know, ba ba ba. But it's funny to see actual Justice Warrior using the same ad. Keto Elevate. It's not bad, you know. I mean, we're not getting sponsored by it or anything, so go about it how you want. But I thought it was all right.
I just love how we're making up all these different things that Oh, no, keto is that video card game you gamble on in bars.
Wait, is it?
No.
Oh.
I think that's Keno.
Actually used to work in the change box of a RSL club, and I had to take all the Keno bets as well, so yeah, I became quite familiar with it.
I thought originally keto was like you're supposed to eat just like a specific type of kel or something like that. I don't know.
It's like a modified Atkins.
Yeah.
So what it is
low carbs, moderate protein, high fats.
Yeah, see, there's one toe on each animal that is the key toe, and that's the only thing you're allowed to eat.
And if you remove this key toe, the whole structure just falls down.
Yeah.
You're eating a lot of cartilage on this diet, so that it makes you feel full, but it's just empty. There's no real calories to it, so that's how you lose weight.
And Coco's saying that I'm too much of a slothful recluse to do any of this shit. For me, like I actually enjoyed my time at the gym Friday. It kind of reminded me of being a young man again when I was, elementary, junior high, and high school playing sports. So that felt nice. But it was funny because like my first night in the gym is a Friday night, and you would imagine it's like, oh well, that's gonna be, nobody's gonna be there. It's a Friday night. No, there's still gym rats. There's still gym rats there, and like there's like I don't know, 4 or 5 people when I showed up.
That's right, brother.
Yeah, well, there was one dude. He was, like, damn, you're about as wide as you are tall. That's kind of impressive. Good for you.
Yeah.
But I ended up interacting with a couple of these people, and it was like an 18-year-old boy and his like 16-year-old girlfriend. I was like, oh wow, you guys are like half my age. Okay. And
good for them.
Yeah. And I was like, is the girl? I mean, is she really here to work out, or is she just spending time with her boyfriend? Because like she's going through like exercises with him, but it's like she couldn't have weighed more than 80 pounds. She's tiny.
She wants to keep toned. That's important too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to get any kind of tone when all you are is literally skin and bone. I think one of my legs probably weighs more than her. But like, so I get off the elliptical and I go and start using some of the machines, and this kid was always. A guy at the gym told me I was as wide as I was long. I said tall. But
Makes everyone happy at the end of the night.
But no, like this 18-year-old kid, every time he would get off one machine, and he would go to one like next to the one I was on. He's like, "Are you using this?" Like,
somebody make that image, please. The quote.
He's like, "Are you using this machine?" I was like, "Do you see me using that machine? I'm using this one, dude. Like, I'm right here. This is where I'm at. Like, I'm not trying to go from like bouncing from one machine to the next, like doing circuits or whatever. It's like, this is my first night, all right?" He's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool, Like, dude, I just got off an 8-hour shift. It's my first night here. I'm not trying to do anything crazy like you kids, I got shit to do tomorrow. You guys can sleep in, whatnot." And but yeah, it's like, every time, like, "Are you using this?" No, I'm not. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that there's some jerks who take over machines that aren't using. So he probably had an issue with someone who looked at him like, "What's this teen punk doing?" And they kind of like gave him a hard time.
Yeah, because I mean, his girlfriend was tiny. He was a little bit bigger than her, but like I still probably at least 6 inches taller and probably had 100 pounds on him. So
yeah,
a guy tricked Camel into signing a treaty to give up his machine.
I like because the gym I go to is women only.
Ah, right.
And it's quite nice. I really like it. It's very chill. But my favorite part of it, so obviously, if they have anybody like repair people coming in, or if it's something to do with the building they're in, they have this ginormous sign that they put up that says "Men at Work." When they come in, and we're like, "Ooh, there's men here today." It's like, where are the men? It's usually like some, like the last time it was some like older guy working on the IT problem or something, and we were like, "Oh."
Now, do they fully commit? Do they fully commit and play Men at Work while the sign is up?
No,
would be
sadly,
hilarious.
no. Yeah, but it is. I always thought that was quite fun. They have a good sense of humor there. Oh no, my favorite thing. I don't know if this happens in regular gyms like co-ed gyms, but we have this woman who goes to this gym, and she looks like a caricature of Cruella de Vil. Like the two-toned white and black hair, horrible witch face, like like someone dropped a house on her sister kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Wait, at the gym?
And at the gym. She comes, works out, right? Like does the machines and whatever. And she's the most sour, poor-tempered, like sad excuse of a human I've ever met. Like they have music playing, not very loud, but just background music because not everyone brings headphones. And she, every single time she's in there, "Why is there music playing? This is ridiculous!" And she screams and throws a fit. And the girlies at the desk, instead of telling her to shut the hell up because all the other patrons also pay for a monthly pass and they're allowed to listen to the music. If you don't like it, wear earplugs. Just acquiesce to her because they give in to terrorists. And so we have to, for the whole time I'm there, while she's there, there's no music.
What?
Yeah, they turn off the music. They turn off the TVs. They turn off the music because they're scared of her.
Well, that's where I would just tell her.
I think it should be. Yeah, music is played at this gym. Go to one that doesn't play music if it bothers you that much.
Or just wear earplugs. And the thing is that the music is very slight. Like they do not crank up the volume because they have a special room for workouts, group workouts, that is even like it's really thick plexiglass. I don't know how it's insulated, but when they have like they have the instruction stuff, you barely hear it. You hear it a little bit, but they can be cranking the music in there and it doesn't disturb the rest of the gym. It's really nice. And so for the rest of us, it's like, put on top 40 Spotify or something, and it's just nice. It's just something in the background. And if you put your headphones on very low level, you can't even hear it. So that's how nuts this woman is. And
I just like how, like, obviously Sora's Canadian, so like they're super nice. Terry being Terry, he's like, if you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Me being the obnoxious American, I'd be like, look, you do realize there's a bunch of heavy objects in here that we could use for blunt force trauma. Shut the fuck up or go somewhere else.
That's the thing. Like, you're one paying patron. The rest of us also are paying for this space. There's no drop in. This isn't like it's not a community center gym where you can just pay for a drop in. This is a monthly, it's a private membership thing, right? Because we don't really have the community center ones near where I work. So if you want it quiet, go to a community center. But she doesn't want to do that because they're not women only. So, and Green Badger, I would love to toss a bucket of water on her, but I would be arrested.
No, but yeah, since we're doing the gym talk, my schedule's about to change at work, and I'm going to the overnight shift. So, like, I'll be making a bit more money. That's nice. But I just shelled out for this 24-hour access to this gym because the Tribal Wellness Center usually closes shortly after I get off work, and I don't feel like trying to hustle over there and maybe get 30, half hour of cardio before they close. So on the bright side, I get to use that gym now because I'll be getting off work in the morning when they're open.
Yay!
The downside is like, I just got this gym membership, and now it's month to month. So I mean, I could cancel before the first of the year. But like a couple of my coworkers and I think a couple people last night on the Minion streams, like, I mean, you could keep it for your nights off. You wake up, in the evening, and you can go to the gym, late at night, and nobody be there. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and do that.
Ooh.
Just have the gym all to myself. I want to have some 18-year-old kid ask me, "Are you using this?" No.
Well, what you could do is get a recording of him asking that, and then just play it every like 10 minutes.
So you don't feel lonely.
Yeah.
No. But also like the gym that I just signed up for, they have tanning beds. It's like, so I can keep the Indian year round instead of just in the summertime.
Yeah, I do like that Camel and I basically took the opposite approach. He's like, I am not eating less, and I'm like, I am not exercising.
Yin and yang, man. There's gotta be balance in the world. No, I mean, I did enjoy, like growing up and being active and playing sports, and I did enjoy, like the going to the weight room for football or basketball practice, afterwards. So like it's kind of going back to that, and the only difference now is like I make a lot more old man noises.
Yeah.
But at least this way, like with going to the wellness center like in the morning time and then going to the gym on my nights off, like I won't have to hear as many people. The thing that bugs me is like when you have the meatheads who are just like slamming the plates,
Oh yeah.
You just clunk, clunk, clunk. It's like you guys realize you're not supposed to. Like
there's a Gold's Gym near a Staples near my work. So like if we ever have to run down and get like what's it called? Like reams of paper or something quickly because like we've run out. All you can hear is slam, and then the concrete building shake. you know, and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah, and
it
they
is
always
obnoxious.
and they always follow that up with like one of those screams, like they just herniated something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, like, are you injured? Like, no, man, I'm just lifting. It's like, okay, could you like keep it to a dull roar, maybe?
But that doesn't help. They're just making noise for noise sake. It doesn't
Yeah.
actually help you with anything. Part of like in the gym I go to, there is actually like in the rules of code of conduct, there it actually is written down that you have to treat the others, people around you, with respect. So keep noise to a minimum and keep the quality of the equipment at a premium. So you can't throw things down like that. They will kick you out. They will literally kick you out and suspend your pass.
There is one posted rule at the gym that I just started at, and that is literally keep your shirt on.
Ew. Yeah.
Like, you know, you keep your shirt on. You know, if you take your top off, we will suspend. You know, we will kick you out and suspend your membership. It's like, wow, like you guys had to post a sign for that?
No, in the women's only, this is a gym, not a fashion show. And I witnessed one of the trainers actually throw a couple of girls out because they literally came in with those those TikTok leggings, but the shorts version, like the one that's like they're ruched and they have that really thick seam that goes up the butt crack. So it makes it lifts and spreads the cheeks. And so they came in wearing that and basically like a bikini top. And they just came to take photos of themselves in the mirrors.
Okay,
and
yeah. I wasn't mad at it until you started talking about selfie, mirror selfies.
And that's it. Like they weren't, and immediately the girls, because there's a lot of people who go, like the majority of the demographics at this gym is really funny. It's 3 distinct groups.
Oh no, they're saying
apparently
silence.
They can't hear anything.
Uh-oh.
I think it might actually be that Adam's muted. Because yeah, I mean, we're talking and they're saying there's no sound.
Uh-oh.
Adam, where did you go?
I hear it crinkling like a bottle of water. Oh no.
Maybe Adam went to the bathroom.
Okay, Keith's saying now there's sound.
Okay, well, whatever it was causing the silence,
sorry about that.
It's gone.
The thumping may have been me giving the pooch a pet.
Aha! Talek said he got the 3 distinct groups and then silence.
So you had 3 distinct
Well, we need
groups.
to end on a cliffhanger. So, if you want to find out what the 3 distinct groups are, join us next week on the Minions of the Zoo.
Find out next time on Minions of the Zoo.
Yay, we're back.
Now I'm looking forward to being able to go back to the Choctaw Wellness Center because they do have different classes that they run or at least they did before COVID. I don't know if they still got them, but like I'm hoping that they still have the kickboxing class. I'd like to take that.
I that would be fun, actually. I'd love to try a kickboxing class.
Yeah. It didn't sound like pupper petting. It sounded like someone stomping around on a hardwood floor. The bulldog is kind of fat, so she does tend to thump around.
Oh.
My mum's dog was terrified of me when I went down to visit. She must have thought I was like a threat. She was growling and barking at me and did not like me at all.
What is it? What kind of doggy?
Dog? Is it like pit bull?
Pit bull?
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, pit bull?
Yeah.
And it was terrified of you, huh? Wow.
I don't know. It's just because there's two of them. The black one was scared of me. The brown one didn't give a shit. Like the brown one just ignored me, but the black one saw me. Must have registered me as a threat because it was growling and like it wouldn't like attack me. It was keeping its distance, but it was just like alerting everyone that hey, there's something wrong here. Like, get this guy out of here.
Is he a new dog? Cheer him
Well, he's not familiar with me because I only visit once a year. Or she, rather, it's a girl dog. But, yeah, she's not familiar with my presence, I guess. And, like, she's like, there's a stranger in the house. I'm going to make sure everyone is on alert so I can get rid of him.
And then after your visit, she's like, yeah, that's right.
That's like my Rottweiler. I got him from my mother, and he was not socialized around a whole lot of other people. It was just like me, my mom, my grandmother, my girlfriend. Those are the only four people he really hung around. So anytime anyone new comes over, he's barking his head off until they just sit down or leave.
I do think it was interesting because, like, the dog finally got like used to me after the first day. But then when I was leaving, I put my jacket on to go outside, and I guess that was a big enough difference that I was now a stranger again because she went straight back into alert. Who is this? Why is he here? I'm gonna bark and make sure everyone gets rid of him.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just like that's just them saying goodbye. It's like, oh, you're leaving already?
Good. Whoa.
Like, we just became friends. Why are you leaving?
It could be. I must admit I don't speak dog. It could have been what she was saying.
Oh, that looks cool. Speaking of dogs, that looks cool. It's a picture of a dog. It says this dog is a Swedish Valhound.
Oh,
they're basically
yes.
wolf corgis.
Oh,
yes, wow. They're adorable. God, they're so cute. They're very sweet dogs.
No, I apologize.
Hey, he's back.
As you should.
So what I missed?
Well, we finished with the gym talk. We've moved on to dogs, Adam, just to keep you apprised.
Oh, what kind of
and he's gonna get
we were talking about like apparently Terry's mom has pit bulls and they're scared of Terry.
Oh, only one is.
Oh, one. Yes, one of them.
Yes.
Then we talked a little bit about like my Rottweiler and my bulldog, and I just saw a tweet about Swedish Valhound hounds, and it says they're basically wolf corgis, and it does look very cute, I will say.
I very much would love to pet one of those and then hug it.
And squeeze it and love it and pet it.
And call him George.
Vince retweeted it, so I went to my notifications and it was just there as one of the notifications.
Dude.
So, any preference for dogs, Adam?
Yes. Miniature
Hot dogs.
Schnauzer. Hot
Miniature
dogs,
schnauzer?
actually. Miniature schnauzer. Schnauzer. I only say that because I had a dog. His name was Mr. Bo, and here's a mini schnauz, and
Yeah, those are good dogs.
yeah.
The hair around the jowls, making it look like a mustache, always made me giggle.
Like a beard. Yep.
Beard, yeah, yep.
Um,
I just always thought of that because my stepmother's mother had one for a time, and he was a rescue. And every time I saw that dog, I just thought of Wilford Brimley.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine that dog talking about diabetes.
diabetes.
Yeah.
I was taking my dog on a walk one afternoon, and there's another couple with their dog, and he's like, "Oh no, look, it's a mini terrorist," and I'm like, "Get out of here! It's not a terrier. It's not a terrier. It's a schnauzer. Get the fuck out of here!" But I'm pretty sure it's a part of it.
Well, I think the mini schnauzers are part of the terrier group.
Yeah.
I just like the idea that there's a dog that's even more Terry than me. Like, I'm Terry, but this dog is Terrier. That's amazing to me.
It's a whole group of them too.
Yeah.
They saw you and knew what to aspire to be, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I'm an inspiration to all canine kind.
I don't know what it is, but like when it comes to people, I can take them or leave them, you know. And the feeling's usually mutual. Like either they like me or they hate me. But when it comes to animals, cats, dogs, it doesn't seem to matter. Like they all love me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Like I don't know how many times I've lost count of how many times people have been like, "Oh, like, you know, their dog or cat, what have you." You know, it's like, "Oh, they usually don't like people, but like next thing I know, there's like right in my lap." It's like, "How's it going?" You know. So
That's the best feeling.
like, oh, your animal doesn't like other people? Ah, they like me.
One of the best things I've ever experienced was I was at a little park, just one of those like neighborhood parks things, and I sat down on a bench, and out of nowhere, this cat jumps onto my lap.
Yo, no kidding.
Like out of the blue, I didn't even see where it was coming from. I was on my phone, and suddenly there's this cat on my lap, and made itself at home and took a nap, and I did not move from the bench for like 25 minutes. And I was like, "Oh my god, I've been chosen! I've been chosen!" You know? And I was like, "Oh!" And it was just a cat, like a neighbor. Like it wasn't a stray or anything. It was obviously lived in the area. It had a little collar on. It had everything. I guess it just wanted to nap on someone, you know? And yeah, that's to this day is my favorite animal moment. It's a good thing it had a collar, because I was like,
Oh, so is it like a random stray? Even still.
oh, if it was a random stray, I probably would have tried to take it home.
Oh.
Not gonna lie.
It's Adam just got his ass kicked on.
Hey, Terry. What the hell are you? What are you doing?
Oh, rest in peace.
Why are you perpetrating?
Well, I mean, you're the one streaming it. It's not like it's a secret.
Yeah, but to the people who are just listening, they don't know what's going on. They don't have a visual understanding of what's going on. So I mean, come on.
Oh, if he's using Kokonoe, you're just dead on arrival. If he can beat you with Taiga, he's gonna murder you with Kokonoe.
I believe in Adam using what's that? Mai Natsume?
Yeah. Well, Mai's are actually very beginner-friendly characters. Like, No, I mean, like, if you're not familiar with how the game operates, you can do a lot better with Mai than you can do with some of the more technical characters.
It's not helping.
He,
Terry.
he,
Thank
he
you.
went with Azriel.
I like Azrael. He's a cool guy.
He's trying to blind the other one with his abs.
Yeah, yes. I don't know the tier list for this game. I don't know if Azrael is any good. I just know Kokonoe is extremely good and that Taker is typically pretty bad. It's Azrael's fun. He can put weak points on the opponent, and then that makes his next attack even stronger. Of course, you have to actually hit them first, Adam.
Yeah, well, you know. I'm getting at that.
Ouch. It's like, oh, the abs didn't work.
No, they aren't.
Oh, they are not helping.
To be fair, Kokonoe is much more practiced at the game and is using a very good character. So, I mean...
Yeah, I'm horrible at this game.
I don't know if it's got crossplay, but if...
I don't think it does.
But if it does, then I would be happy to play against you, because I'm pretty shit as well.
Well, I mean, what? It's what, on Steam?
Yeah, I've got it on Steam.
I don't mind picking up on Steam.
I'm horribly out of practice, but I used to be passable with Amane. I used to like him because he did so much chip damage. Like, even if you block, you still take a ton of damage when he hits you. I don't think he's very good. Like, I don't think Amane is a good character, but he's fun. Kokono is saying no crossplay. Okay.
More of these fighting games need crossplay.
Oh, I think they all should have it.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that are already out, it's going to be very expensive to retroactively add it in. So I can understand that they don't want to do that. But I think all games going forward, there's no real reason not to include it.
I mean, I don't even see a reason why they don't have it.
Okay, so Kokonoe is saying that the character Kokonoe is a high tier, Azrael is a high tier, Mai is top 5, okay, and Tager is bottom 3. Yeah, I knew Tager wasn't very good. I always thought of Mai as a beginner character, so I'm surprised that she's actually that good. And I might as well ask, Kokonoe, how good or bad is Amane? Because that's the one I usually used.
Is who?
Amane, the guy with the scarf. He turns the scarf into a giant drill when he uses his drive.
Oh.
That is something else.
Yeah, he can even turn the scarf into like a giant hand when he like does his anti-air and he knocks people out of the sky. Looks like he's slapping him with a scarf.
Nice.
Low mid. That makes sense. That's about what I was expecting. But yeah, I just like the idea that even when you block, you still take a ton of damage from Amane, because his whole gimmick is that scarf that turns into a drill, it starts out really weak, but the more you use it, the stronger it gets, up to a point. If you use it too much, it breaks, and then you can't use your scarf at all for like 2 whole seconds, which doesn't sound like much, but in a fighting game, that is a long time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's all about trying to keep it at level 3, letting it cool down just enough that you can attack with it again without breaking it.
I'm glad for the Aussie commentary that we have going right now. Oh my god. That was horrific.
Look at him go. Look at I think that's Lambda. I wasn't paying attention when he picked the character. It looks like Lambda to me.
I like the wings.
Yeah. No. The whole, because there's Lambda, Moo, and Nu are like all very similar appearance, but I do like them. They're cool. Like the shooting the swords at everyone.
Action.
Yeah. As much as I like this version, there's one thing that the earlier versions did better, which is the announcer, who had this like ridiculous, over the top. I'm going to assume Japanese accent. It's like, the wheel effect is turning. Rebel one. It just sounds so stupid.
Yeah, well, I guess I could change it in this one. I just gotta.
You don't have to change it. I can't hear it. I don't have audio on the video game. But it just made me laugh every time I heard it. And then in this version, they've just got a normal announcer, which makes more sense.
Yeah.
But it does. I can see how that takes away a little bit of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shall be the last one, and then I don't know. We'll see how the rest of you guys are doing. How you doing, Camel?
Doing all right. I was just taking a stroll down memory lane, thanks to Jacob Jett.
Oh, what's he done?
He retweeted Oliver Gia, and it was a picture from was it VidCon, the meetup of all the anti-SJWs.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and that does, it's what's hilarious about this photo is that everyone here is either no longer on speaking terms with one another, or they became irrelevant on YouTube years ago. There's only 2 or 3 people here whose content I still watch. 2017 honestly feels like another lifetime ago. It's like, yeah,
it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
would wholeheartely agree.
all the people in this picture, like Chris Raygun's, like only like got part of his face in the frame. You got Shu and Armored Skeptic, Bunty, some black guy.
I've got a weak spot for Shu. I know she's a crazy commie, but I still like her.
She's still funny, you know.
Yeah. Well, she's a socialist.
She's a Bernie bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got Sargon and Vernaculus and Dave Cullen.
Oh my god, that's someone I haven't seen in ages.
Wizard of Cause is in the photo. Matt Jarbo.
Matt Jarbo?
Yeah.
I never liked Wizard of Cause.
I liked him at first. When he and Jeff started up the YouTube Saints streams. Mm-hmm. I liked them all right. They were having like that. They're where I found out about Magog from.
Okay.
You know, and they had Monkey on. They had Medicare. You know, they got a wide variety of people there towards the beginning, and then after the whole Discord server thing, Nick was just he was a collateral damage from Jeff for me.
Yeah.
When Jeff did his whole apology and he put it on his backup channel,
instead
of his main, I was like, oh.
No one actually saw it, right?
Yeah, because like I was on there like, oh wow. At first I didn't look at the channel name. I was like, holy shit, he's lost a ton of subscribers. And I was like, oh wait, no, this is his second channel. Oh, you slimy shithead.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just little strolls. Like I should probably take some ibuprofen because I'm feeling a little old now.
It gets better if you go through that thread. Someone posted Shoe and Armor Skeptic with bread tubers.
Yeah, I saw that. The H Bomber guy and ContraPoints and Lindsay Ellis. Those are the only ones I recognize.
Oh god, I can't stand Lindsay Ellis.
The one on the left with the curls, I'm subscribed to her, but for the life of me cannot remember her name.
That's not a good sign.
No, she does. She's a little bit odd.
Okay.
It's I have a thing where I'll subscribe to people and I forget I'm subscribed to them, and they might not do content for a very long time, and I never bother unsubscribing because why?
Yeah.
And she's come back. She's gone like spiritual political.
Spiritual political.
Yeah, like she's made this. Everybody in the world lives on different tiers of cerebral existence. So like you're more like the wokeness factor, but not really woke as in political correctness, but like more like how insert color pill you are now. And some people are happy to be at this middle tier where they just coast to life. You're happy to be fed whatever the media gives you, and you live in your little picket fence world. But I'm beyond that. I'm level Omega, and I see beyond all of this, whatever. I watched a couple of these videos of her, and I was just like, okay.
No, I just realized like the only person in this picture that I've watched any of their content recently is Shu.
Yeah.
Like I the only time I ever even listen to Sargon is when he pops onto Sitch and Adams streams. And the last time I found him to just be really annoying because he was like they were covering the Destiny versus Nick Fuentes debate about Russia and Ukraine. And you saying?
I do watch his Lotus Eaters channel, but I mean he's not even in every video, and there's people that I like better than him on the channel. So
yeah, like I don't really watch. Like every now and then, like one of their clips will pop up, and I might give it a look. But nothing really. It's the same thing for the same reason. Like I stopped paying attention to like Matt Jarbo.
Yeah.
Right.
I stopped paying attention to Matt long before the flagging and everything, because
same
reason I stopped paying attention to Phil DeFranco. By the time they released a video on a subject, I'd already read about it. I already, and like they were just covering beat for beat what I had already read. So why waste time?
That is true.
Why waste time watching them tell me what I already know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're watching them pretty much just read the news.
Yeah.
Well, I find that I'll usually be. It was bad back then because I used to watch like everyone cover the same stories, whereas now I'm pretty much only watching the Lotus Eaters cover it. So I see it on Twitter, and then I see the Lotus Eaters' opinion on it, and that's manageable. When it was like, the Quartering and Jarbo and like
I can't listen to the Quartering. Like I can't even listen to like the Salt Mine streams that he does with Bearing and Dankula, and I like Bearing and Dankula.
But my point is that when I was watching all of those channels, and it's like, they just keep covering they all cover the same story, and they all say the same thing about it. It gets redundant. Because now the only one I'm really watching is the Lotus Eaters, it doesn't get quite as, boring. It's like, okay, I'll see it on Twitter, and then I'll see the Lotus Eaters talk about it, and then that's kind of the end of it.
Well, like I said, with all them, like I already read these stories or whatnot. I was like, and it got to the point where like I could almost predict like what they were gonna say about it if they had anything original to say about it.
Oh, but they never have anything original to say.
Well, they never have anything original to say. True, it's more like predicting like what they were gonna say based off their style of presentation.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I really don't need to watch you anymore because I already know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
I find it's good.
I've actually watched Shu's videos. Like, she doesn't post all that much.
Oh, she barely ever posts. Yeah.
When she does, it's usually something that I haven't really paid that much attention to. And she's still entertaining.
To get a summary. Like, because when I'm seeing it on Twitter, I'll see fragments of the story every time. Like, I'll stumble across a new part of the thread, and it's like, then I'll watch the load, and it'll just be like they'll cover the entire incident, and it's just like a summary of everything that happened. Like, oh, okay, that's why they said that. Oh, okay, yeah. It just kind of fills in the blanks for me.
Yeah, but like listening to Sargon on that stream with Stitch and Adam, he was arguing with them, and he was pretty much saying like, you Americans don't understand Russia and whatnot. I was like, okay, and you do,
Obviously, he does. He's Sargon. He knows everything.
It's like, oh, I've actually spoken to Russians. Like, and you think we're incapable?
My grocer's Russian, That's what that sounds like.
I mean, you think that just because we live in freedom land, we have no opportunity or ability or interest in speaking to Russians or Ukrainians on the matter? Really? Like, we can't have an opinion about the subject because we're Americans, or we can't have the right opinion because we're Americans? Like, he just seemed like he seemed even more douchey than normal.
I can see that. But like I said, I don't mind Sargon, but there are better presenters on his own website than him, which is kind of funny.
That should tell you something,
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, Sora's a spy. She's passing the national. She's given the Russians info on the Canadian stockpile of maple syrup.
And poutine.
I still think it's hilarious you guys have a stockpile of syrup.
But you don't want to run out.
It's very important. We don't joke about the stockpile.
I mean, I suppose if like nuclear winter, is upon us, I know where I can go to have my pancakes now.
Well, think about
there you go.
And you'll be grateful too. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna be sitting there eating your hardtack, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, the Canadians are
syrup.
eating hardtack plus maple
With syrup."
Oh man, we're screwed.
We put I like my syrup in my coffee a little bit sometimes in my tea, in my oatmeal, on my bacon with sausage.
Whoa.
In potatoes.
Okay, now we're going too far.
Hold on. Maple syrup on your bacon, sausage, and
I mean, I've had like maple flavored sausage before. I can see that, but potatoes,
please,
that's a bridge too far. That's a bridge too far.
You guys live sad lives. You need to put that syrup, especially if you have to get the really dark amber, like the darkest grade. Like that one is very it's like it has a very not molassesy taste, because it doesn't taste like molasses, but it's just like a deeper sugar, like dark sugar taste. It's very, very tasty. And that is excellent with savory food.
And yeah, Frost, he does, some streamers do enough research.
Syrup is amazing with syrup. Yes.
I don't know how you would feel about actual Justice Warrior Terry, but I think you might like Short Fat Otaku, because he not only he does political stuff, but he also does game stuff. So at the very least, you have game stuff to watch instead of just the political stuff.
He's pretty decent. Actual Justice Warrior, he annoys me to a degree. But about this maple syrup plus maple syrup, what do you think about maple syrup with pineapple?
What is it with people in pineapple?
Hey,
honestly.
I mean, candied pineapple is a thing. Like, you can candy pineapple like you can candy lemon peel. I don't know. I think it's a little bit too tart and acidic.
I'm just
match.
Thinking like a wedge, like a little.
I mean, I would try it, but I don't think it would be.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's true, Frosted. He's not funny, but actual Justice Warrior is very thoroughly researched.
Oh, that's good. I mean,
a lot of his videos are going to actually deal with like
he's also fairly
crime.
Egotistical, so I will give them that.
I don't watch him that often.
He requires a nice visit from Shiki Baby and become humble. Short.
I really only started watching him when he would start covering the Julius Jones execution, because that was close to home, being here in Oklahoma. But yeah,
he does do good work. But look, all these people. Look,
but yeah, Matt Christensen, he's top of the list in that group.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah. I can understand if you don't want to watch the streams, because it's got Blonde on there too, so it's not just Matt. But he's
also they're just longer. I want to watch a
only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
Well, also his videos they're because they're videos, they're more focused on a specific topic, and they're not just bouncing around like the streams. Because the streams they cover. So, I only watch the Sunday stream. I don't watch the Wednesday call-in stream, because I don't want to hear the audience.
No, I can't think of anything worse. But no, his videos are very good.
It's in bad taste to blame the audience, even if the audience really did do bad. You don't.
No, it's not that they're bad or anything. It's just like, I watch Matt and Blonde for Matt and Blonde. Like, I don't even pay attention to the chat on the Sunday streams. The only time I even notice it is when they're reading super chats or other donations. And then it's like, okay, can we get to the next story, please?
Oh, even that gets annoying. Ugh. Let's read super chats. Hey, I thought this was stupid, some like this, and then you should do this.
As somebody who has a Streamlabs, I'm not going to complain about super chats or donations. It's just like I'm like on the Sunday streams, it's usually they're either making jokes or they're adding something to a story that they'd already talked about or talking about later in the stream. So it's more focused on the Sunday streams.
My stance on the whole thing is, if you are the kind of person that really wants to give me money, use that money for therapy instead. You probably need
give
it.
me the money. If you want to give Terry money, just give it to me, and I'll pretend that he's going to get it, and we'll all be happy.
Living in our little delusion.
I don't have a Streamlabs, and I don't want one. To me, as soon as I start getting money for doing something like this, it becomes a job, not a hobby, and that would take a lot of the fun out of it. I like being able to not have commitments. Like, I've got commitments like Quippers in the corner and such, but if I decide, fuck it, I don't want to do it anymore, I can just drop it. Whereas if it's a job, I've got more of a responsibility to the audience.
I can see it.
Well,
it does change your perspective on what's fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing? Why would you sit there and spend your time chit-chatting with a bunch of strangers on the internet and have a bunch of other goofy ball strangers watching you and inputting their own fucking commentary? Like, why would you?
I don't think of you guys as strangers, though. I consider you guys. Okay, friend is a strong word, because a lot of you, I don't even know what you look like or your real
friendly
names.
acquaintances. How about that?
But yeah, we're definitely well acquainted.
Why are you digging into it? I was just goofing on it, and you had to go.
No, but like you were saying, strangers, and I don't consider you people strangers. We're well acquainted. I think that's probably the best way to put it.
Hey, man.
I think so.
Hey, you know what? I would call all of you a friend. Except Sora, because you are suspect. Okay. But no, honestly, I would call you all friends. That's why we hang out and do the show, right? Otherwise, what the fuck
I don't think people who despise each other hang out with each other.
No, it all becomes a matter of where you draw the line between acquaintance and friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I consider the fact that I don't know what most of the people that I'm internet friends with, I don't know what they look like. I don't know their names. I feel like friend is a bit too strong a term for someone I've never seen, and only know by a pseudonym. Like I think like Della I've seen. Della I know his real name. I'm still never met him in person, but I'm a bit more willing to call Della a friend than someone that like sorry to use you as an example, but someone like Camel where I don't know what you look or what your name is.
His picture is in his avatar.
But I find that extra distance between it if I don't know such basic personal details about someone.
For sure, and I think that it that stems also from, I think, our generation of how we view the internet versus a younger generation.
Absolutely.
Where we grew up in the stranger danger, learning about with the internet sort of idea, versus people now who are like kids now who are only on the internet, and so I don't think that distinction really exists anymore, like with what you're pointing out, Terry.
Yeah,
I think that is something that is really there anymore.
I mean, I consider, like, let's change the example, Hammer. I consider him an internet friend, but, like, friend on its own, to me, connotes a much closer relationship than, someone that you don't even know their name. To me, that makes the relationship a little too impersonal for friend to be the descriptor. That might just be me. I mean, I
think it's fair. I think everyone, how they interact and what they see people, it's.
When I was playing the online game Discworld, one of the things that always happened was there was a website where people uploaded their photos because they wanted to, bridge that gap so you could actually feel more like you knew someone. Because, like, I don't know, I do know what whatever their screen name was, I do know what they look like. I know their name's Mary. Oh yeah, it just brings the relationship closer if you just know basic personal details like that. That's why I use my own name. Like no one cares that my name's Terry. It's just a nice thing to know, to sort of feel like you know me better than just some dude on the internet.
Well, joke's on you. My name's not really Adam. It's Justin.
Well, there you go. I mean, I know that Jack Gunsky's real name is not Jack Gunsky.
Hold on, don't say his name because he's gonna be fucking popping in here somehow, and then all of a sudden.
Well, and as soon as he does, we have to end the stream. So
yeah.
Fucking guy. And you know what?
Who are we talking about?
Gunsky.
Ah. Sorry, I had to step away.
I was just saying that his real name is not actually Jack Gunsky, to everyone's, hopefully not great surprise.
Yeah, but I call him Jack.
I, for one, am shocked.
Why?
Because the name Jack Gunsky seems so plausible.
It does, doesn't
it?
It works.
Now, you guys may also be shocked to learn that Horatio Octavius Camelson is not my real name either.
That seems implausible. I think you accidentally doxed yourself, and now you're trying to take it back.
Although Horatio would be a cool name, I gotta admit.
It is. I do like that.
And the next thing
everyone is a lie.
Yeah, right. The next thing you're tell me is that you're not really a camel.
Come on, Adam. Don't be silly.
I know. Silly. Bill.
Why would I post all those camel gifs on Twitter if I weren't really a camel, sir?
Probably trying to sell cigarettes. I don't know.
Defense rests.
Oh, you found me out.
Oh shit.
And yes, Frosted does know everyone on the corner's first names. That is true.
The bidding war starts now.
I have
I've
a
already
pack of
told you
gum.
mine. So.
I will.
Unopened. An unopened pack of gum. It is menthol and eucalyptus flavor.
Ah.
I think
Wow.
that's worth names.
I am actually
Camel
James
is worth
Colley.
learning.
I don't believe you, sir. That's a fake out.
Well, I know for a fact that Frosted Glass is his real name. He had very cruel parents.
But
Am I not camel?
are you sure you're
What
not?
is it with
it's not
everyone?
Nordic?
What is it with everyone being so obsessed with my feet? I mean, honestly, I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, only the toes, really.
I know, right? It's not the whole foot.
Hey, you start selling those pics, you're gonna make some money.
I'm
Internet's
holding
a
out.
gross
I am
place.
holding out just the right time. When I actually desperately need money.
That
Then
is
you
going
can have
into
all the
the
toe
pool.
pics you people want, you freaks.
Going into the pool of the Minions advertisement. We could use your dollarinos. If you send in your money, we'll give you some camel toe pics. So there you go.
No. No. Like all that money's going to me. That's not. We're not doing a third party like changing of hands here. No.
Look, it's just a toe, and it's a percentage. So it works out.
And,
Camel
James
needs to start a
Colley-
towing company. There you go, Frosty. That's some smart thinking right there.
James Colley says Ted Nelson has to be Frosted's real name. That is a good reference.
There was a time there as a younger man. I actually wanted to get in the repo business.
Isn't that dangerous?
It can be, but you get to steal legally. So I mean, there's benefits, And I do live in Oklahoma, so everyone's armed. I mean, it's not like they'd be the only one with a gun. I mean, come on.
True. I sometimes forget how well armed the US is because
Every blade of grass, Terry. Every blade of grass.
Right, but like I'm in Australia, but guns aren't really a thing to the same extent.
Yeah.
Like people on farms and in the country have guns because they need them to shoot pests. But
yeah, but their guns aren't as cool as our guns.
You're gonna have.
But
You're gonna have.
they're not
think
like
that everybody is just packing heat, left, right, and center.
like. If I go to visit a friend, like pretend that I have real life friends. If I go to visit one, I wouldn't expect to just see a gun when I went there.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys have all those boomerangs. You don't need guns.
Oof.
I still don't know how I feel about that, James. I still don't know how I feel about that.
So, hey, this is the Minions of the Zoo Monday Night Mayhem. Holy shit! I didn't think that the cast would grow.
This is why you don't let Camel on. We've been going for 2 hours now.
I know. But we
I
haven't
mean,
had Jack Gunsky. But I'm gonna hold.
You have to feel sorry for Johnny on Thursday nights because he's got both me and Sanguine.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, that's a good point.
And Sanguine can.
And he still has to go to work like Friday morning, so like he's really just like, dude, we got to wrap this up. It's like, okay, yeah, 20 more minutes,
But so in terms of Monday, I want to thank both panel and chat for joining us. The panel, as always, Terry. Thank you.
Yes.
For hanging out with me on Monday.
This is the only time. This is the one. You only get one.
I know, and I hope you had a good vacation, man.
I did. I mean, it was a trip to. It was basically our Christmas because we did it a couple of weeks early. But no, it was good to see the family.
Good. You gotta have those times of just turning your brain off and relaxing and doing that. Sora Luna. Thank you so much for joining, even though you were late. But I won't hold it against
Thank you.
I always appreciate you hanging out, and it's always fun chatting with you.
Always fun to be here. Thank you.
And Sir Hate Camel.
Yes.
Well, it was a pleasure hanging out with you, sir.
Likewise.
Yep. It's been, I think, what, we chatted Saturday as well, or no, Sunday.
Yeah, we chatted yesterday.
What about Friday? No.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I was there with you and Sanguine as well. You fell asleep.
I did not fall asleep.
We heard you snoring, dude.
No, it was not. It was a goof snore, and he muted me. It was.
And you didn't unmute yourself at any point before the stream ended.
Well, it was a prime opportunity to be able to fart and belch.
You're really committed to the bit. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay, so what about after the stream, when we were still sitting around talking?
Okay, so this is the end of the show.
I mean, kayfabe so far, Adam.
I want to thank everybody for hanging out, everybody in chat, for joining us, everybody in panel. I love y'all, and God bless, and let's cue up the outro. The zoo is closed.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Good night.